I've had the pleasure of doing this program for several years now, and a few of the guests that we've had have been so memorable that I've wanted to invite them back again. And so we have. I've invited Captain Michael White to be with us a second time. He was with us a few years ago when he was with the Brunswick County Academy. His experiences today, I think, are equally interesting. Captain, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me back, sir. It's an honor.
Thank you. I've looked for a broad term to describe you because you're such an interesting gentleman. You're a motivational speaker.
Yes, sir.
You're a man of great faith, a minister.
Yes, sir.
You're the strength coach for Brunswick Community College basketball team, which is a great story.
Yes, sir.
And a great deal more. I'm not sure where to start. But let's start by asking you how you got into the business of serving children and youth, which is particularly one of the things that you do.
I think that what inspires me the most to work with young people is to get them to stir up that competitiveness inside of them. Everyone have a competitive spirit. A lot of young people have never had the opportunity to stir it up. But when you get young people to stir it up and get them excited about being competitive and they begin to win, they start doing great things on the outside. I think that a lot of our young folk now, they're waiting for a coach or someone to give them that signal, or maybe let them know that, hey, you can win this, you can do this.
Coach is a great word for that too, yeah.
And that's what a lot of our parents need to, and I'm not trying to tell parents how to raise their children, they're doing a great job at it, a lot of parents, but when parents become coaches of coaching young folk on how to do great things in life, they become better competitors, and they become competitive to the point that no one is going to defeat me, and the only person that can defeat me right now in life is me.
Now, you're a pretty competitive person, right?
Yes, totally.
82nd Airborne.
Yes, sir.
You live a very disciplined life as we speak.
Right, sir.
You lift weights every day. You serve God in every way that you can.
Yes, sir.
But I want to get back to the matter of serving youth, because I think that's where we can focus in the limited time that we have. You're a speaker locally here.
Right, sir.
You're involved in Brunswick County.
Yes.
But you're also involved around the country.
I am, sir.
And I want to talk about a couple of those, and then we'll come back to Brunswick County.
Super.
Before we went on the air, we were talking about an experience you had in Chicago.
Right.
You were asked to come to Chicago to be a motivational speaker for youth in the Chicago area.
Right, right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
In Chicago, there's a lot of gangs in Chicago, a lot of young men that are confused of what direction they want to travel in life. A lot of those young men want to stand and be counted, but they lay down and be counted out with the advice of others. So I was asked to come to Chicago to say we need to bridge this gap. The community is divided, the city is divided, the police department, the sheriff department, and everybody's want to be in gangs. Because
found a bigger crowd than you expected, didn't you?
Right. When I went, the guy said, well, you probably have about 200 people. When I got there, Jim, that was over 1,000 people.
Wow.
And I knew then I won't get a second chance to make a first impression. And I said, Lord, I need to talk to these people one-on-one from the heart. And as I began to speak to these young men that was thinking about joining gangs, they stepped out of the crowd and they came to the front of the stage. Now, I don't want to be in a gang. I want to be someone better than that. I want to live to be more than 25 years old. And these young men began to talk with me about what they want to do with their lives.
Right.
And there are organizations in that community that these young men could go into, but they didn't know they were there. And we got counseling with these young men, and they began to talk to these counselors in the city of Chicago. And it just started making a big difference.
Wow.
I continued to follow up, and one young man came, Jim, he's about 6'6", about 300 pounds. He hugged me. I thought he tried to wrestle me at first. He hugged me and started crying. Man, I just love what you said, man. It touched my heart. I want to change.
That's awesome.
I want to be a better me. And the topic to my whole workout routine was 10 steps to building a better me. And that's what it starts. It starts with us. I can't help you if I'm messed up.
Was that the theme of your presentation?
That was the theme. 10 steps to building a better me.
Okay. I wish we had time to talk about each one of those, but we'll try to cover as much as we can.
Right, sir.
Let's talk about Brunswick County.
Yes.
You've been here for a number of years.
Yes, I have.
And you've touched lives in a number of different ways, including, as I mentioned, the Brunswick County Academy.
Right.
But today, you're involved in counseling youth and working with them in a handful of different ways.
Right.
Let's talk about some of those.
One of the ones that I love working with in Brunswick County is at the courthouse, where the district attorney has the peer circle.
Right.
Coming through the teen court. And teen court have students that come through teen court. They have students that make bad decisions in school.
Right.
Well, the SRO and the sheriff's office and the police departments around the county see that this is a good kid. This kid has potential. Let's not send him before the judge and ruin his life, because this kid may want to go in the military or college.
Correct.
So they sent him through peer circle. They sent him through teen court, and students in teen court, they find these kids guilty of whatever they did.
So peer court, I'm sorry.
Teen court.
Teen court occurs, and then peer circle occurs afterwards,
Right.
with regard to the punishment, if
Right.
you will, that the child receives.
Right.
Might be community service or whatever.
Or they come through counseling with myself.
Oh, good.
Miss Erin, that's in charge of peer circle, with Mr. Joe Yalch and Miss Air. We get together and we counsel the students, the young ladies and the young men, on what mistakes they made. And I love what Joe Yalch, one of the counselors he had, a dear friend of mine, he had what he called an invisible toolbox. And we give you students great things to put in their toolbox to use when they come against these kind of things again in life, and it works great.
It's a good term.
And the students are with us, and the parents are with counsel on the other end. So when the student come every other Tuesday of the month, they come and they spend counsel with myself in a courtroom, and the parents have to go through a 2-hour counseling as well. It's working too, sir.
Wow.
The lives are being changed.
So many of our viewers know about teen court, and it's interesting to put this onto the teen court story,
Right.
to see the next
The peer circle court.
the next stage.
Yes, sir.
I'm jumping around on you a
Okay,
little bit.
super.
Let's go to New Hanover County.
Okay.
Talk about the work you're doing there.
In New Hanover County, there's a great program that the police department have. Ms. Linda Raleigh has called U-Turn. They invite me over to talk to young people.
It's a good term. I like
Great.
that.
Yeah, U-turn. Yeah, make that U-turn. You're going the wrong direction.
Right.
Your GPS said, when you get a chance and you say, make a U-turn. And that's what we need to do in our lives when we realize we're going down the wrong road. They have a program over there, work with at-risk youth. And then we have a program with young people that are about to go to jail with the crime they're committing. And we work with these young people and try to counsel them and give them avenues of different ways out of what they're doing. Mr. Jim, I was invited to a program the district attorney office had in New Hanover County. And in the courtroom, the town hall was packed. And I didn't really understand what was going on, but they had 12 seats. And there was a folder in each seat. And we sit in that courtroom and everybody started coming in. Then they brought all these young people in, and then they brought the parents in. And then the district attorney began to speak about, we've already got you. We've caught you breaking the law. We got you on film. We got you. We have surveillance. You guys are not going to be arrested tonight, but there's some people in the community who believe that you can change. And we believe you can change.
Now let's make sure we understand one another. These are young adults,
Right.
who may have committed crimes, or at least misdeeds, as we'll call them.
Right.
They're on camera, but the district attorney nor his office have not been charged.
Right.
And the district attorney just wants them to know that we're out there, we know what you're doing, and we want to make it work for you.
Yes.
We want to see you succeed.
Yes. And the young people, the young adults, they were shocked that they had them on camera.
It is a shocking
Yes,
moment,
because
I'm sure.
they was committing a lot of different hideous crimes that was really is destroying the community. People are afraid to be in that community, go to stores and different things of that nature. And a lot of these young people, the DA simply told them, you have a chance to change. We're going to keep these files on file. And a lot of these young people, I've been seeing them in the community, they changed, men and women, because they realized I got a second chance.
It's a dramatic moment.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to speak to these young people because I've been there and done that. And said, guys, you got it. I've never seen this happen before. When the district attorney have enough compassion in his heart, the community have enough compassion in their heart, say, hey, we know what you're doing wrong, but we feel you can make it.
We want to catch you early.
Yes.
And see you engage in a U-turn.
U-turn, make a U-turn.
Yeah.
And it was a great opportunity for me to be a part of that, to see that.
I want to talk about the positives, but you lose a few too, don't you?
Yeah, we do. And one of the most tragic things that happened when I was in school at Brunswick County Academy, that was a young man that came through Project Redirect several times, and he was trying to find himself. And he would always ask me questions, Captain, what can I do this? What if this happened? What if that happened? So we was talking, and he decided school wasn't for him. He couldn't get it together. I said, don't drop out of school, champ. You drop out of school, you're never going to make it. Well, he eventually dropped out. And then, I kept communicating with him through texting and different things of that nature. But he stopped texting me. And I kept texting, but he never stopped. He never texted back. So I watched the news about 3 or 4 months later, and I saw his face on the news, on a mugshot. And he was sentenced to 28 years in prison.
Wow.
My heart dropped because I tried so diligently to show this young man that we can make it.
Right.
Just stand and be counted and not lay down and be counted out.
Yeah.
Be committed to your commitment. He had committed to doing what was right, but somehow he got sidetracked, and the commitment didn't make any difference anymore.
Let's talk about parenting. I asked you before we went on the air who your great mentor was, and you said it's your dad.
Yes.
And I would say the same thing for me and so many of us. But
Yes.
talk about that for a second.
You know, I'm fortunate and I'm blessed to have parents. Both of my parents still alive. My dad, this guy's so awesome. He raised, him and my mom raised 11 children. I mean, that's just like for real. That's a football team for real. Starting lineup,
yeah.
11 kids. But he raised these kids, and he never left us. He always inspired us. He was always a provider. He would always tell me, son, just do your very best all you can. And my dad would always say, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression, son. So what you do when you go out there to do it right. Do it right. And it's just an inspirational thing. And I tell young people all the time, I say, you want a hero or role model? Look in the house first.
Right.
These people paying bills, paying the light bill. When mom and dad paying the light bill, they don't call LeBron James, hey, LeBron, light bill up, dude. You know, what you got? You got anything on that? They don't do it.
Yeah.
Our parents are making a difference, and they're doing their best.
Let's go here. Outside of your family, whether it's Brunswick County or elsewhere, who else has inspired you?
I think one of the most inspirational people that inspired me when I first came to Brunswick County and got a second chance was Mr. Bob Ryan. He was a principal at BLC, Brunswick Learning Center. Mm-hmm. I came out to BLC to do a motivation speech with the students at the school, alternative school. And I was talking to him. He said, Big Mike, he said, if you ever need some help, if you ever need a job, come see me. And I went to Mr. Bob Ryan a few months later. I said, sir, I need a job. He told me if I ever need a job. He shook my hand, looked me square in the face, said, he'll give me a job. I went to Board of Education, filled the application out, and they gave me the job. And it was so incredible. I had the job. I was excited. And 3 months later on the job, well, actually 3 weeks later, one of the administrators from the school, I don't know, in the education, in the school system, came and said, we can't continue to employ you, Mr. White, because of your background and your criminal record. So I went to the board, Jim, and I said, don't let my record speak for me any longer. Let me speak for my record. And I went to that board meeting. There was 5 board members. And I spoke to that board member face to face and told them what I could do with these kids over here, because I've been there and done that, and they're trying to get down that road as hard as they can. I believe I can make a difference. And that board member, those boards, they heard me, and they heard my cry. And after we interviewed, they went out, deliberated, came back. It was 4-1, and they gave me the job. And I worked in the school system 15 years.
That is a great story.
With young people, because they gave me a chance.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me.
You're a busy guy.
Yes, sir.
You serve as a youth minister.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that for just a second.
I'm the youth minister at Mount Calvary No. 2 in Brooksville, South Carolina. My pastor is Reverend Smith, James Smith. And with the young people, and when I first went to this church years ago, I saw a lot of young people excited about knowledge and wanting to grow. It reminded me in my mind like a lot of little birds, when the mother bird goes out to bring back food, they have a little mouth open, hear mom coming, they're ready to be fed. And that's what I see these young people at this church. Yeah. They're ready to be fed. They want to be fed something good that they can grow on. And my heart fell in love with that church family. And I said, I'm going to make my roots here. When I'm not on the road preaching and teaching, I'm going to be right here at Mount Calvary No. 2. Awesome family, very loving. I mean, they pump me up. It's like when I'm on the road, I'm working hard and I'm running out of gas. When I go to my church family, I get pumped back up, back up, and ready to go again.
Our viewers are probably wondering the same thing I'm wondering, and that is that I don't think we said you work at the nuclear facility.
Right, yes, sir.
So that's a full-time job.
Right.
I don't want to list all these, but it's pretty impressive. You're a youth minister. We just talked about that.
Right.
You're also the strength coach at Brunswick Community College for the basketball
for the men's
team,
basketball team, right?
Which is a terrific,
awesome,
nationally known program.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that for just a second.
Yes. I've been with the basketball team now 15 seasons. Coach Walter Shaw and Tiger Aldridge, we've all been together 15 years. It's like a marriage. I think our relationship been together longer than a lot of marriages have lasted. But we've worked hard with our young men to play basketball, to get educated, to move to the next level.
Right.
And we're probably one of the highest community colleges in the country to get the kids to another level.
It's true. So many of them have gone to Division I colleges.
That's right. And one of the great things about the Brunswick Community basketball team, we're about to make history. Coach Walter Shaw is the head coach. If we can win 2 more games, and we will, because the guys, the team we have, they got a big heart. They're competitive. They want to win. They hate to lose, just like me. We win 2 more games, we'll be at 300 wins.
Yeah.
What a milestone.
Yeah.
We're not like Mike Krzyzewski with almost 1,000, but we got 300.
It's also interesting to note that you're a disciplined guy. No surprise there. You're up early in the morning. You
Yes, sir.
Work out.
Yes, sir.
You read the Bible.
Yes.
You serve others. You have a wonderful wife.
Yes, I do. Adorable.
It's just a great story. I wish we had more time. We've run out of time, and there's so much more to say.
Yes.
But it's fair to say that you're an inspiration not only to me, but to our viewers, and especially to the young people whose lives you touch. And Captain Michael White, we thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me,
It's just
sir.
a great story.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir.